Hi, my name is Tim and I'm in Dubrovnik in Croatia.
I'm on a cruise on Cunard's Queen Victoria and we're docked for the day a short bus ride away from the medieval centre of Dubrovnik. The cruise terminal is located around 2.5 kilometres from the ancient walled city. Most of the cruise lines put on shuttle buses to take you into the centre, or there are lots of taxis at the cruise terminal. At the time of filming, they were charging around €13 each way. This morning, I'm on a half-day cruise excursion for a panoramic view of Dubrovnik, and then this afternoon I have free time to explore the walled city.
We have several stops to... First time in Croatia? Oh, then you need to come at least 10 days. Good mood, but bad mood must...
Our first stop is at the impressive Franjo Tuđman Bridge, named after the first president of Croatia. The original bridge design was developed in 1989, but construction was stopped with the onset of the Croatian War of Independence. The design work was eventually finished by the Structures Department of the University of Zagreb, and construction itself was finally finished in 2002 when the bridge was opened. We stopped for a quick photo opportunity of the bridge, which sits at the western approach to Dubrovnik. You can see how close the bridge is to the cruise terminal. As we drive away from the beach, we get a view of Lupad, which is a mainly residential area with some small hotels and beaches located on a large peninsula across the water. We get a tantalising view of the centre of Dubrovnik as we drive by. We're heading to the other side of the bay so that we can look back and see the walled city from a distance across the water. It's a spectacular view, and you can see how lush and green the hillsides are. From here we get a great view of the medieval fortress which guards the old town's harbour. We're now heading to the heart of the city to the bus drop-off point for some free time to explore the ancient old town. The drive-in is quite tight for the bus with high walls of stone on either side. The main drop-off point for buses is the square by the entrance to the old town called Pile Gate. In the square you'll find some cafes if you want to stop for something to eat or drink. But if you keep walking through the square, you come to the seafront and you can enjoy some beautiful views of the old town with the waves lapping against the walls and a small pretty beach area. As you make your way to Pile Gate, this is where it starts to get congested, with a lot of visitors filtering their way through to enter into the old town. You do have to take your time along with everybody else to slowly file your way through the city gate. You enter into a piazza and the crowds soon start to dissipate as people make their way along the main thoroughfare or lose themselves in the myriad of side streets that take them deeper into the old town. There are some key sites which we'll have a look at later, but to start off I recommend you just wander down the side streets. It's not that big a place, so it doesn't matter if you get lost, and just explore and soak up the atmosphere of this medieval old town. We came across a pretty little market in one of the piazzas, selling a range of local produce, crafts and souvenirs. For a long time, Dubrovnik rivaled Venice as a key trading port, protected behind its sturdy city walls built between the 11th and the 17th centuries. Today, the Old Town is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and the result of meticulous restoration after a lot of the city was damaged in an earthquake in 1667. A lot of renovations were also done to return the city to its former splendour after it was attacked in the Civil War in the early 1990s. I'm not sure what the occasion was, but there was a lot of music and performance on the day we were there, against the backdrop of the stunning architecture. You may come across the statue of Marin Darajic. He was a famous Croatian playwright and he sits outside of the theatre that bears his name, and it's considered to be good luck to rub his nose. As you wander around Dubrovnik, it's vibrant and colourful and full of contradictions, from grand baroque palaces and monasteries to marble-paved piazzas, through to tiny little back streets and cobbled alleyways with its cafes and restaurants. The harbour area is a picturesque spot to have a stroll along the waterside or sit and have a drink in one of the cafes and enjoy the view. Just off the harbour area, you come to the Dubrovnik Cathedral of the Assumption of the Virgin Mary. The cathedral replaces an earlier basilica that was destroyed in the earthquake in 1667. The replacement cathedral was finished in 1713 and includes a nave, 2 aisles, side chapels and a dome over the crossing. Back outside, we decided to find somewhere for lunch. There's a big selection of cafes and restaurants to suit all budgets. A lot are heavily influenced by Italian pasta and pizza, but we also found Croatian specialities and a good range of seafood. After lunch, the exploring continued. The Jesuit stairs are an impressive example of Baroque architecture, quite closely resembling the grand Spanish steps in Rome. The staircase was finished in 1738 and was later featured in Game of Thrones, which has brought a whole new level of awareness and recognition of Dubrovnik to a new generation. At the top of the steps, you will find the church of St. Ignatius of Loyola. Inside the church, magnificent frescoes depict the life of St. Ignatius, founder of the Society of Jesus. With the Jesuit college next door, many consider this complex of buildings to be the finest example of Baroque architecture on the Croatian coast. Strolling around the old town, some aspects do feel a little bit Disney-fied, like you're in a theme park, and you do see the impacts of over-tourism. I'm certainly not in a position to criticise having arrived on a cruise excursion, but if you take the time to explore further than the main tourist areas, it's easy to find quiet little corners and enjoy the beauty of the old town away from the crowds. A popular thing to do is to climb up and explore the city walls. It's not cheap though, it was €35 per adult when I was visiting, but you do get a different perspective and great views over the old town and the sea. The main areas were definitely less busy as the afternoon went on, so it may be a good idea to avoid the morning rush when the majority of the tourists seem to visit. There was time for a final look around before heading to the Stradun, which is the main street leading back to Pyle Gate. The shuttle bus was waiting to take us a short trip along the coast back to the ship. As we sailed away, we had lovely views of the Lapad Peninsula and looking back at the Franjo Tuđman Bridge.
I've had a fantastic day in Dubrovnik. If you've enjoyed my video and would like to see some more of my travels, please click subscribe. Until next time, thank you for watching. Goodbye.